Welcome to Charles Travels, the podcast where we explore the fascinating world around us, one story at a time. I'm your host, Charles, and I'm delighted to have you join me on this journey of discovery. As we begin today's show, I want to take you to a place that's far from the usual tourist trails. A place where the rhythms of industry and nature coexist in a delicate balance. I'm talking about the Yaroslavl region in Russia, northeast of Moscow, where a major oil refinery has been making headlines. Imagine yourself standing on the banks of the Volga River, watching the sun rise over the rolling hills and forests of the Russian countryside. The air is crisp, with a hint of autumn's arrival, carrying the scent of wood smoke and damp earth. It's a peaceful scene, one that belies the drama that unfolded earlier this week. A fire broke out at one of Russia's largest refineries, sending plumes of smoke into the sky and prompting concerns among local residents. The governor of the region, Mikhail Yevraev, quickly reassured everyone that the blaze was not the result of a Ukrainian drone attack, but rather a technological issue. The firefighters have worked tirelessly to bring the fire under control, and I'm pleased to report that their efforts have been successful. As we reflect on this story, I'm reminded of the importance of industrial safety and the brave men and women who work tirelessly behind the scenes to keep our world running smoothly. It's a testament to their skill and dedication that the situation was brought under control without any major incidents. But as we explore this story further, I want to take you beyond the headlines and into the heart of the community. What does this mean for the people who live and work in the Yaroslavl region? How do they perceive the risks and challenges associated with living near a major oil refinery? These are questions that we'll continue to explore as we travel through the world, meeting ordinary people doing extraordinary things and uncovering the hidden stories that make our world so fascinating. We'll be right back with more fascinating travel adventures on Charles Travels. Welcome back to Charles Travels, folks. I hope you're enjoying the journey so far. As we continue our exploration of the stories that shape our communities, I'd like to take you to a place where the heart of the matter is quite literally on the plate. Today, we're talking about school meals and the complex web of opinions surrounding them. As I traveled through the Emerald Isle, I stumbled upon an article in the Irish Times that caught my eye. It was about the school meal scheme, a program designed to provide hot lunches for students across the country. But what struck me wasn't just the idea itself, but the diverse perspectives of parents, educators, and suppliers who are all trying to make it work. Let's start with Kaya, a parent from Wexford, who shared her positive experience with the scheme. Her children enjoy meals like chicken and gravy with potatoes, carrots, and cabbage, which sounds like a hearty, comforting dish. She appreciates the help the program provides, especially for families in need. But not everyone shares her enthusiasm. Gillian Carroll, a parent from Cork City, had a different experience. She described the meals as oil-soaked brown packaging with a weird orange tinge and bounceable food. She wouldn't eat it herself, and I can understand why. The concerns about packaging waste, nutritional value, and the quality of the food are all valid. Then there's Brian McGee, the managing director of Fresh Today, one of the suppliers for the scheme. He emphasized that proper funding is essential to provide decent meals. With only $8,320 per student, it's a challenge to deliver high-quality food. Elizabeth Bolger, another parent, shared her experience of living in Barcelona, where schools have kitchens and cafeterias serving seasonal, organic, and local produce. It sounds like a utopian ideal, but perhaps it's something we can strive for. As I listened to these stories, I couldn't help but think about the importance of community and the role that food plays in bringing us together. School meals are not just about sustenance, they're about creating a sense of belonging and social connection among students. Deirdre McGrath, another parent, raised concerns about the program requiring parents to take on even more responsibility for balancing their children's diets. It's a fair point, as we want our kids to develop healthy eating habits from an early age. As I reflect on these conversations, I'm reminded that there's no one-size-fits-all solution. But what's clear is that everyone involved in the school meal scheme wants the best for our children. They deserve nutritious food, a sense of community, and a positive experience that will stay with them long after they leave the school gates. And so, as we continue on this journey, let's keep exploring the complexities of our communities, one story at a time. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Charles Travels. Welcome back to Charles Travels, folks. As we wrap up another exciting journey across the world of sports and entertainment, I've got a story that's sure to get your engines revving. Today, we're talking about the world of professional wrestling, where legends are made and rivalries are forged in the fire of competition. As John Cena approaches the final stretch of his retirement tour, fans are eagerly speculating about who he'll face next. Some are calling for a rematch with Brock Lesnar, but not everyone is convinced that's the right move. WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray recently shared his thoughts on the matter, saying that a rematch between Cena and Lesnar wouldn't do much for either man. It's pro wrestling, anything can happen, but I think that if John would have faced Brock again, it doesn't do anything for anybody, Ray said on Busted Open Radio. Yay! John got a win. I'd rather see John beat somebody else than beat Brock. Brock destroyed John already, and that was so Brock can move on. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about the fans who want to see Cena take down Lesnar one last time? Well, Ray's got a point. Sometimes, it's not about the win or the loss, but about the story being told. And if we're being honest, folks, Lesnar's already had his moment in the sun with Cena. But that doesn't mean there aren't other exciting matchups on the horizon. Cena's next confirmed opponent is the phenomenal AJ Styles, and I've got to say, that's a match I'd love to see. The energy between those two is always electric, and it's going to be a wild ride. As we close out today's episode of Charles Travels, I want to leave you with a thought. What makes a great rivalry in sports or entertainment? Is it the wins and losses, or is it something more intangible? Let me know your thoughts on social media using the hashtag #CharlesTravels, and we'll keep the conversation going. That's all for today's Charles Travels. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, keep on traveling.